But I've learned one thing since I've decided to run for president, and I assume one thing. Everything about me is going to come out in the public record. And I've done some dumb things, and I'll do dumb things again.
Oh, how right you were, 1987 version of Joe Biden. This had to be the one promise he makes good on. Dumb things, corrupt things, it looks like, weird things. Here's corruption. Taking Hunter Biden in his condition to China as he was the sitting vice president of the United States, and then meeting with Hunter's sketchy business associate in a hotel as he was vice president of the United States. Also, of course, grabbing women he does not know and feeling them up and smelling their hair and doing weird stuff. And more recently, sticking all those classified documents in the garage right next to the Corvette. Joe actually could have been characterizing his own life when he said this about MAGA, but he's really saying it about himself.
Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal.
Not normal. Underline that exclamation point. You are right, Joe Biden. Your house, your summer house, was searched by the FBI today, huh? Joe Biden, the FBI. I hear that the search of Joe Biden's Rehoboth, Delaware beach house was consensual, all right? I have a feeling they actually didn't have a choice. They were looking for classified documents. They spent 3.5 hours looking for them. We're hearing from Joe Biden's lawyer that they did not find anything classified, but some documents they are reviewing. Whatever. Take a look at this guy who works at the White House lawyer's office. Seems kind of nervous, doesn't he? Seems, I don't know. What do you make of this guy?
Has the FBI conducted any searches of any other locations associated with the president that you or the White House is aware of?
Look, I think we're providing information as this goes on and answering questions about the search activities as they've been happening. I don't want to speak too much to the DOJ's practices in an ongoing investigation. I can say, that we have cooperated fully. The president's personal attorneys have provided information to DOJ. We've addressed openly and directly the searches that were conducted first at the president's Wilmington residence and then today at the Rehoboth residence.
Yeah, totally transparent, absolutely. And I'm talking really fast, and I do that when I feel like my client is guilty. I'm projecting, but let's talk about this. Joe Biden, his summer house was searched. Now, Joe Biden went to that summer house just a little while ago. President Joe Biden is expected to be at his North Shores home outside Rehoboth Beach for the weekend, beginning Friday, January 20th. That's not very long ago, is it? He went in January to his summer house. What was the temperature that weekend? High of 43, low of 30. Who goes to Rehoboth Beach, Delaware in the winter? Let's take a look at Rehoboth Beach, Delaware in the summer. Hey, it's happening. This is like everybody from the swamp loves to go to Rehoboth Beach. What does Rehoboth Beach look like in the winter? Nobody goes there, and everybody knows it. All right, and nobody goes there. This is how the local newspaper writes it up. The incredible Delaware beach that transforms with the season's winter weather makes Rehoboth Beach feel like a ghost town, except, I guess, when the President of the United States shows up on some random weekend in January. Joe's house in January must be very cold. It's very close to the ocean. It's like a half mile away from the ocean. Why would you go there in January? Possibly to clean up things because the FBI is going to show up soon. You've been tipped off. I mean, you're the President of the United States. You hear things. And that would explain why Joe and especially Jill looked so dour when they were coming back from that weekend. Take a look at Jill. She's, I think they may have looked at all the boxes in the attic and said to themselves, we can't get this stuff out of here without anybody noticing. We got a problem on our hands. Hey, one of our favorites in Congress, Congressman Comer, he kind of is saying what I'm thinking.
The arrogance of the Biden family knows no bounds. I mean, do they think we're idiots? Do they think that Joe Biden hasn't gone through the home and his personal lawyers haven't gone through the home dozens of times in advance of the federal authorities searching their homes? Of course they did.
Yeah, so I don't think they're going to get the classified stuff from that house. Maybe they Sounds to me like they probably took care of it. But we have this from Kimberly Guilfoyle. She's big in the MAGA world, of course. 91 days ago, docs found at the Penn Biden Center. 43 days ago, docs found in Biden's garage. 20 days ago, documents found in Biden's home. Why did the Justice Department wait until today to finally search Joe Biden's beach house? That's a great question, Kimberly. And I have a theory as to what's going on here. Now, Joe Biden was chosen by Barack Obama in 2008. It was an unlikely pairing. Now, one of the selling points that made Biden attractive is he had no real political future of his own outside of being Barack Obama's vice president. People forget that Biden actually ran for president in 2008. Actually, he was out by 2007, gaffe prone. It was a disaster. But everybody knew, even Joe. Take a look at this from the iconic book Game Change in 2007. This time, he was ready. His wife, Jill, was ready. At 64, he saw it as his last chance. 64. That is 16 years ago. We'll be 16. That's crazy. Joe cannot run now. He can't run for re-election. But Joe, let's face it, it's not all going on upstairs. He thinks he can be president for 8 years. You know who this has ticked off? His bosses, Barack Obama and Susan Rice. I am firmly convinced part of the reason why Scranton Joe, Lunchbox Joe, has gone so far left is because he doesn't care about anything, and these are the people who want him to go that far left. Really, Lunchbox Joe from Scranton. Was this the guy he ever said he was going to be?
I said last year, especially to our younger transgender Americans, I'll always have your back as your president so you can be yourself and reach your God-given potential.
All right, John Kennedy wanted to take us to the moon. Joe Biden wants kids, boys to use the girls' room and girls to use the boys' room if they feel like it. This is not a working class agenda. This is a radical left-wing agenda, and Joe's going along with it because of the power, the protection, all that stuff. But time's up, Joe. And also, what patriot would allow this to happen at our southern border? All right. He is executing a far left radical agenda, and he's doing it because he has no choice. He's compromised, and now he's on really thin ice, because I do believe part of the deal was Joe, one term only. But lately, Joe's been making noise about going rogue. You know, he went to St. Croix, which is kind of insulting, by the way, right? There's so many golf courses he could go to in America. Military bases have great golf courses. No, but he went to St. Croix down there in, I guess, the Caribbean, right? And the word was he was going to make a decision about 2024 while he was on vacation. That didn't sit too well with the Obamas, with Susan Rice, because they already made up his mind for him. And when he got back, trouble with the FBI, trouble with the documents, huh? You know, this is happening to a sitting president. You know, the trouble that Donald Trump went through regarding the FBI, at least it happened when he was an ex-president of the United States. He never would have allowed this to happen to the presidency itself. FBI spent 3.5 hours in a president's home. I don't think this is just about the documents. This is about more than that. And this is an Obama operation, I do believe. And all of it, of course, is what?
Not normal.
Thank you, Mr. President. For now, I'll be right back.